Are you struggling to talk with your coworkers like a native speaker would? Let's take your English to the next level. Hi everyone, I'm Fallon from FluentU, and we want to help you learn English with real-world videos so you can speak like a native. Today I'm going to teach you some essential phrasal verbs for work, and the first one I want to teach you is deal with. By the way, if you want more information about any of the words I use in this video, click on the link in the description box below to try out FluentU for free. You can save words for later, check out the meanings of the words, or even put them on a flashcard so you can review them after the video. Deal with means to handle or manage something. I hear this word used most often when someone has a problem for a really long time and then they finally resolve it. We often use this phrase in situations that are less than pleasant. For example, you could say in a staff meeting, "Who is going to deal with the angry customer?" You can use this command when someone is complaining about a task that they should have done a long time ago. You can say, "Deal with it already," meaning they should just do the task and stop complaining.
I just assumed that she wouldn't have to deal with stuff like that.
I'll deal with that situation as soon as I get out of here.
To take over something means to take responsibility for that thing. So for example, you're doing a group project at work and you decide you want to lead the group project. You can say, "I'll take over," meaning that you will take responsibility from the project from now on.
Like, how much would the foreign species take over?
Personally, I love the phrase "to catch on to something." The meaning of the phrase is to understand a difficult idea, but it definitely has more to it than that. The connotation of this word, or the feeling that the word suggests, is that light bulb or aha moment that you have sometimes after trying to understand something for a long time. For example, after a long and complicated meeting and you're just not understanding what's going on, and then finally you do understand, your boss could say, "Now you're catching on." This is a really positive phrase to say to someone. It's pretty much like giving them a compliment.
You catch on quick.
To get ahead means that you are improving your career or your job. This phrase has a competitive connotation. If you say that you want to get ahead in your job, you are saying that you're willing to be competitive. A good way to get ahead at work is to work extra hours. So you could say, "I'm going to work Saturday and Sunday to get ahead for next week."
Shackles. Letting the bad guy get ahead.
To break down means to explain something or to break something into smaller parts so it's easy to understand. This is a really common verb to use at work. For example, your coworker has a really big idea for a new project, but you don't understand it. You could say, "Can you break it down for me?" Meaning, can you explain it more clearly?
Okay, do you want me to break it down for you?
Why don't you break it down for me?
To look into something means to investigate something or to learn more about something. If it helps you to remember this one, think about how when you investigate something, maybe you read about that thing or search online, you are using your eyes to literally look into the thing. This is a phrase that often comes up in meetings or discussions between coworkers. For example, in a meeting, your boss wants to know about the company's financial reports. And you say, "I'll look into it," meaning that you're going to be the one to investigate the financial reports.
So do you think Zelensky Industries can help these folks?
I'll be happy to look into it.
To bring up a topic means to introduce or to reintroduce that topic. This is a really casual phrase. It's not something I would use in a really formal situation. For example, you could say, "My coworker keeps bringing up the idea of expanding the office, but I don't know how I feel about that."
Doesn't matter.
Then why'd you bring it up?
To think through means to consider something carefully and thoroughly. It's really common to use this in a command form because when someone's making a bad decision, you can say, "Think it through first," meaning you should probably consider this a little more carefully. This is another phrase that's more common in casual discussions than formal meetings.
Don't listen to this maniac. Let's think this thing through.
Finish him!
To point out means to show or to indicate something. Although this phrase is rarely used literally to point at something with your hand, that's where it comes from. Think of it like you notice something and you point it out with words, not your hand. For example, if you want to remind your work team about an upcoming deadline, you could say, I just want to point out that our deadline is coming up in 3 days.
How very refreshing. A man who doesn't believe in marriage.
I'm just trying to point out the hypocrisy of the spectacle.
Last, to turn down an offer or opportunity means to say no to it. For example, you could say, I was offered another job at a different company, but I turned it down because I'm really happy where I'm at. For example, you could say, I was offered another job at a different company, but I turned it down because I really like my job right now. If you want to remember these phrasal verbs for later, click on the link in the description box below for a free PDF of all the verbs I discuss in this video. Now, I know you're really serious about your language learning, so we've prepared another awesome video for you to take your English to the next level. It's right over here, and I'll see you over there.